Thorfinn! Thorfinn!
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody. Have you been? How's it going?
How you
How
doing?
you doing? Today we're going to be going over Vinland Saga and
Season 1.
season 1. Season 2 has been
The only one
announced, and I am hyped for season 2. But let's go over season 1 and delve into the wonderful world of the Vikings, which was interesting hearing Vikings and Danes speak Japanese, but I digress.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing, like through the whole point where, like, when they went into Wales and stuff, and
Yes.
they were like, "Oh, you speak our language." Like, you're still just speaking Japanese, dude. Like, nothing changed. I don't know which language you're actually speaking.
Welshonese, bro.
Shit.
Yeah. So we're gonna be delving into the wonderful world of Vikings and some lore for Vikings. Not really. I think the only thing connecting it as far as the real world was adding Leif Erikson into the
That
into
and
the
like
fray.
religion and stuff.
Yeah, the religion, stuff like that. The names, of course. You
And
have
all the blood.
all the blood. The immediate jump into action within 5 seconds of the damn show starting, and somebody
Yes.
catching a hatchet to the face and cutting his head in half. So that was great. By the
Yeah.
way, this is definitely a bloody anime. So in case you were wondering, oh, can I watch this with the kiddos? Fuck no.
Well, if you're okay with cartoon blood, then
Yeah, if you're fine with cartoon
fine.
blood, or if that's your shtick, then sure, why not?
either way, they did kick it off pretty hard with Thor's going and jumping boats and just axing people down.
Oh yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, kind of funny part, because you told me to watch this anime and didn't give me any info on what it was about,
zero.
and I opened it up on the Prime Video, and the whatever studio that the motorbike is in
Wit.
started going,
Yeah.
and I first saw that and I was like, what the hell is he having me watch? I thought it was like some biker anime, and then all of a sudden it clips to Vikings and shit. And I was like, well, that wasn't what I was expecting.
To be fair, that's my exact thought process because I think that was the first Wit Studio anime that I'd seen.
Yeah, I've never
So,
seen that before.
Yeah, so that threw me off completely. I was like, "What the hell is happening here?"
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
thought we were-
it starts off very bloody. As you said, Tor's jumping from boat to boat, just hacking, slashing, cutting holes in people's asses, and yeah, he's a force to be reckoned with. And then you have Thorkel. He's sitting there. He's like, "Hey, yeah, Tors, hey Tors, yeah, save some for me." And I'm like, "Holy shit, these people are wild."
Crazy sons of bitches right
These-
there.
Never mind that Torkel's is like what 7'3". This giant Hulk of a
big
human
dude.
being. He's massive. He's basically impervious to pain. It's just weird. He enjoys killing. That's all he cares about. So that was a wild way to start off the show. It was great though.
And then it just cut to a happy, normal life on a
Yeah.
farm.
For, like, what 2 minutes
Or on
later, it's
frozen
like,
wasteland.
Yeah, frozen wasteland / farm. I thought they were. Sidebar. My immediate thought process was that they were farming ice to sell.
This isn't frozen.
That's what I thought, and then I realized, nope, he just managed to build this village in an icy wasteland because Vikings. But yeah,
Yeah, I did like how it was like kind of real world stuff, like they were in Iceland and not some made up shit. So that was nice.
I believe they early on introduced Leif Erikson as the.
Which threw me off. I was like, are they trying to go like historically accurate here with this shit?
Yeah,
or
it's
what are we
like
doing?
history with a few caveats of fiction. Is it
Minus the
historical
Japanese.
fiction? Yeah, Japanese speaking Vikings, world renowned Vikings, if you will. They're just multilingual.
I will
Yeah.
have to say I wasn't too impressed with the naming as far as just Thor's. It's like, let's think of a Viking name. Oh, Thor. I will just add an S to the end of it so it's not copy.
So it's not copied. All right, we got this. Tours! Oh, tours! It's too
I
good.
mean, I'm sure there's some significance to it, but it's just interesting naming there.
He
And then
was
also
a-
the Leif Erikson, like that's
Yes,
was
that's
a real person.
So
So,
yeah, that was real. He
like,
I liked his character because he was like the little bit of comic relief you could get from the show because how brutal the show is.
It is, yeah, he's definitely, I mean, he's not in there very long,
No,
only really the beginning and
sporadically,
kind of
yeah.
the end
Yeah.
there, but surprisingly it wasn't as much about actual Vinland as I thought
Yeah,
it would be.
yeah.
I thought
It's
we'd be like when I saw the Vikings stuff, I thought they'd be like fighting over Vinland or something, or the fights,
that
but
was
not at
exactly
all.
that was exactly my thought, was that they were going to make it to Vinland at some point, probably the
Yeah.
second half of the series, and fight over territories in Vinland
Yeah.
pre the Italians and stuff sitting there and going and exploring the Western world. Yeah, that didn't happen. So I guess it's okay. Maybe that'll happen in season 2. Another scenario to where
We'll
I
find
haven't
out.
read the manga, people, so don't sit there and blow up the comments and say things like,
I don't know
"You
how
should
to
just read the
read.
manga, bro." I don't do that reading shit. But
Tell
yeah,
you what, boy.
we don't do that down here in South, brother. Uh, but yeah, the introduction of him was great. I loved his character. I liked how he sits there and it was telling all of his adventures and stories and stuff like that. And Thorfinn, towards the son, Thorfinn comes through and asks like all these like super specific questions to try and poke holes in his story.
Well, all the kids were like calling him out and shit and calling
Yeah,
him a fake and
you're
that was
lying, old
funny.
man. That's BS. You're lying. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I like Thor's character. Just his calm kind of demeanor. Like
Yeah,
you wouldn't, from seeing the beginning, you would.
exactly.
It's like two different. He's like that gentle giant that's like a badass
Yeah,
secretly, but
he's like
is a nice guy,
he gave me
nice family guy.
he gave me very strong. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen like this movie wise, like The Equalizer or anything like that, or like maybe like a Jason Bourne, where it's just like this really strong person that's really calm on the outside but could snap your neck
Yeah,
if they blinked.
if they really felt like
Yeah,
it.
they really felt like it. That was definitely him, and that
Yeah,
I liked his aesthetic. I liked his vibe. I liked that he was such a caring person, and it showed him giving a shit about everybody in the village and not just his own family, which makes sense because he basically started the village with his wife. So
yeah. Well, yeah, and then shit really got interesting when the Yams Vikings showed up with the boy
and
Loki.
that boy
Um,
Floki,
it
not to be
was funny.
confused with Loki.
It was funny. My girlfriend was like, "Oh, that's his friend from the beginning. Everything will be fine." And then he starts threatening him to kill the village if Thor's doesn't come with him to
I was
serve in the
I was
army.
so confused because I was like I was kind of confused, but at the same time I was like, well, it's been years.
Like 15.
Yeah, 15 years at that point. It would make sense if they finally found him. Because if you think about it, how many villages were there that were settled in Iceland? How many villages
Well,
do you think that there were? So they were scouring for this dude for 15 years. And it would make sense that he was that pissed off when he finally found him and saw that he was just living this nice, happy, gentle life. He said,
yeah, no
screw the
shit.
Yams Vikings. I'm not dealing with y'all anymore. I don't want to do any more of this killing shit. I got a family. I want a family. That's what I want. I'm done with this. I'm bored. This
Yeah,
bores me. That was basically Tors. Yeah. But Floki coming and basically holding the village hostage was and giving him the total like, you're going to accept this offer whether you like it or not. You need to come back and fight with us.
yeah,
Regardless of what you want to do. I don't give a shit what you want to do. You're gonna do it. And I kind of felt
yes.
bad for him because I didn't realize, or you don't find out until later on, what the setup was there, which sucks.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is when I saw the setup of Floki paying Askeladd to kill Thor's,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that would be probably a little bit longer of a story plot.
Like a cat and mouse kind of thing, right?
Yeah, like I
Yeah,
thought that would last longer than the one fucking encounter.
yeah.
And something maybe might be a little bit controversial, but it's kind of Thorfinn's fault that his dad died.
It's whole ass. There's no kinda. It is 1,000% his fault that he got his dad killed. Stupid bastard. So Thorfinn sitting there and not listening. The multitude of times that his father said, "No, no, 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 you're not coming with me. No, you're too young.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be introduced to this life. I don't want you to worry about killing or revenge or vengeance or any of these things. I don't want you to have that hate in your heart." What does he do?
Sneaks on the fucking boat.
dumbass. So because of that, as they're well underway, all of a sudden he hears a jostling, and then he's like, "I need to whoop his ass on the."
Well, and not even just sneaking on the boat, but once they encountered Askeladd, first of all, dumbass exposed that he was his kid,
Yeah,
which then made him a
made
target
the
for like,
fight
oh,
that much
well,
more
now we
difficult.
have,
Yeah,
yeah. And then on top of that was just exposing himself to where Bjorn was able to grab his ass and
exactly.
hold a
So
knife to his throat. It's like, you idiot.
so as Torres is sitting here destroying these people, I mean, with just his hands. They're literally
Yeah.
they're asking, they're like, how is this dude this strong? Like,
How is nobody
what was
dead?
his name? Torres, the troll of the Yams
Yeah.
Vikings or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, straight up. He had ridiculous strength, troll level strength, where he was just slapping people. He was backhanding people like it was going out of style. He knocked out 4 dudes in 2 punches. What are we
Yeah,
doing?
no.
Like,
The bit. He even whooped Bjorn's ass
yeah,
on that berserker shroom.
yeah, he whooped
The
the
boy's a
Bjorn. God damn it.
fucking shroom head.
That was great. He's like, okay, cool. Okay, he thinks he's hot shit. I got you. Let me pop this shroom right quick. Yeah. Yeah.
Popped in drugs.
And then got his ass handed to him, and then woke up like, what the hell happened, yo?
Yeah, it was super sad when Thor's got shot by all the arrows. I was like, that fucking sucks. I was like, I could see it coming, but I was hoping that the plot would last a little longer of them
I wanted it to
chasing
be
after
I
him.
wanted it to be a cat and mouse thing to where
Yeah.
he deals such a handy blow to Ashkelad, but then that wouldn't play into Ashkelad's character, which is he's a tactician, he's a battle tactician.
Yeah.
Though Torres is a powerful warrior, he's not a battle tactician. He can read close range battles. He can read how he wants to eviscerate enemies, in front of him, but he can't deal with that level of a change. Him disarmed, his crew is basically disarmed. His son is in the fray, and he's surrounded 360 degrees from a high vantage point. He's not making it through that, and he knew it.
Yeah, no. And then again, we have dumbass Thorfinn.
Yeah.
Sneaking onto the boat, back onto his dad's boat, or I guess hiding there, so that Leif couldn't take him and the rest of those young guys back. He could have been back at home.
Could have been back at home, but
then
instead,
I guess we wouldn't have a story.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he could have trained.
That is true.
Trained and got his aggression. Like, I would avenge my father. That instead of getting his ass kicked handily.
Which I thought what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And then again, another twist.
Twist upon twist. The show is good for that. I like the story pacing, as far as that's concerned. That's the only portion where I didn't like the story pacing. Was that could have been great, like you mentioned, if they did the cat and mouse between Torres and then of course still have Torres die eventually, but not whenever Thorfinn's like 5 or 6 or 8 or however the hell old he was. He was young. And he was with Ashkelad for years. I can't remember the time scale.
It was like 11 years by the end of the show. But that whole section of the story of him, like us seeing him grow up and get better at fighting and like learning to survive with his knives and shit like that. That whole section was for me, it was such a weird relationship and story. Like I like the kid is. I mean, no, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it was just weird for me.
Yeah,
I like the relationship of, this guy that killed my dad. I'm following him around for years and doing stuff. Like I get the premise because Askeladd would reward him with duels if he did stuff on the battlefield for him. But at the same time, yeah, exactly. But at the same time, it's like, what the fuck are you still doing there?
Yeah, I mean, he made it clear to him that, look, you're not going to beat me. First off. And I know, and I can tell you why. I'm going to continuously tell you why. You're just not going to listen because you're hard-headed. But I'm going to tell you why you're not going to beat me. You can't beat me, A, because you have 0 battle experience. B, you're hungry. C, you've never wielded a weapon before in your life. You don't know the balance of it. I could knock it out of your hand with no effort on my part.
Yeah.
So that first portion where he's a kid and just can't figure out why this guy's letting him fight him, or why this guy is showing him, I guess, mercy. It wasn't really mercy; it was pity that turned
Kind of both.
into yeah, kind of both. But at the same
He didn't want
time,
to kill a kid.
yeah, he didn't want to kill a kid. Exactly. I liked their weird fucking relationship, but it was him showing him mercy ish, but more pity. But then also giving him the opportunity because he saw the conviction in the kid's heart to fight him, to grow as a warrior, regardless of the fact that even in the weird scenario to where you kind of jump from Tor's being the MC to Torfinn being the MC, and the MC not listening to the instruction or the wisdom of his father and telling him, "Do not live with hate in your heart." What does he do his entire life?
Yeah, well,
So-
and that's what I enjoyed, even though it was a weird like relationship scenario that he was in.
Mhm.
I did enjoy how Thorfinn just, even to the end of the episode, he wasn't able to kill him.
No,
Like he was still getting his ass whooped because he was so consumed by like hate, with
rage,
like
yeah.
baby Anakin.
He could think. He could think through pretty much any other battle that he was in, except
Yeah.
for that specific battle against any time he dueled against Ashkelad.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
so,
he just was
yeah.
consumed and couldn't think and actually fight like he was able to.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I did enjoy that fact, how it's not like just, oh, you killed my dad and now fast forward 10 years and I kill you, I'm good enough to kill you
Yeah,
now.
I'm good
Like
enough
he
to kill you
still couldn't do
immediately.
it.
Yeah, he still couldn't do it. He was always destined to take that L every time they fought.
As quick as the beginning plots were
Yeah.
in this in the whole season, the after his dad died, that plot lasted way longer, which I kind of liked because it was more realistic as far as
Yeah, it was good. I mean, this
the
kid.
expectations of what this kid could do.
Yeah, this kid had to learn everything on his own. Ashkelad straight up told him, "I'm not going to save you from shit. I am not here to save you from shit. You're not part of my crew. You're just a stowaway. If you want to fight me, earn it. If you want to kill this person or go do this thing, you might die in the process, which is just better for me. It's a win-win on my part." Yeah, so he made the effort and got his first kill as a child. That was wild. Got his first kill as a child. Continued killing to earn those duels. Continued beating insurmountable odds against him to win those duels. But got left on multiple occasions to the point where the crew got attached to the kid. And Ashkelad's just like, he's not part of our crew. Let's get the hell out of here. Like,
Bye.
Bye.
Well, I liked. I think one of my favorite scenes that like really showed how smart Askeladd was when they took that fort from the Franks, helping I
Oh,
guess that ugly son of a bitch king,
Yes.
that frog looking motherfucker. Like just showing his ability to think outside of the box and do something dangerous and crazy to win shows his brains there.
And knowing, for the most part, I mean, this guy's luck was ridiculous.
That is true.
He even stated, he's like, I've been cursed with good luck. So for everyone around him, they're like, we're good. Ashkelad may not have a plan whatsoever going into this battle that we're going to be partaking in the next 5 minutes. But yeah, we're good. We'll come out on the other side. Because that's just how he is. Yeah, he loves us. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I mean, and that was a kind of a nice short section that they did, and then on top of that, then they go to York and they fight the people in York, and he sends Thorfinn after your favorite Thorkel.
Oi, Thorfinn! Oi!
Yeah, I would have to say he's probably one of my favorite characters too. He's just.
I'd say as far as anime that I've watched in the past couple of years, he's one of my top 5 characters as far as favorite characters. He is he's scary but funny at the same time.
Well, he's just so happy to just kill people.
Yeah, that's all he cares.
I just want to fight strong people.
I just want to fight strong people. What's so wrong about that?
Well, like when the army of Denmark retreated and just left those other ones, he was like throwing boulders at the remaining army. He's like, come on, attack already.
Come on. Why are y'all stopping?
I'm bored.
He's straight up, why are y'all stopping?
Yeah.
Throws boulders. I mean, like 3 times bigger than him. Throws boulders, throws these damn logs. I'm like, what? Why is he so strong? And then you have Thorfinn's freaking speedy ninja. So don't worry about the puppy. It's okay. The puppy's fine.
Yeah. fucking bitch. But Thor felt like when Thorkel got stabbed in the hand and was just beating the shit out of
Yeah, he stabs him in the hand. He just wraps his hand around his fist and then continues to slap him around like a
It
rag
reminds
doll.
me of that I've seen it on the internet where that drawings of like Thanos and Thor. He's like, if I can't beat you with the hammer, I'll just use you as the hammer or some shit like
Oh,
that. and like starts slapping him back and forth on the ground. It reminds me of that thing I've seen somewhere on the internet where
yeah,
he's
basically, because that's exactly what he does.
that's what he did.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit, oh, this is where. Okay, well, this series is gonna be cut short. And then he managed to escape that. Yeah, for real. Get him call the damn ambulance.
And he just slices his fingers off, and Thor goes like, "Oh, oops."
Yeah, he's like, huh. Well, okay, that's new. Like,
Bug it.
Fuck it, exactly. He sits there. Thorfinn jumps off that bridge, swims away. Somehow catches. That man can swim for hours. Apparently,
Yeah,
like,
no
his
shit.
his endurance after getting his ass beat is stupid. Like, because
After he broke like ribs and
he broke ribs
dislocated
and had
his
a broken
shoulder.
yeah, and so he jumped in and was swimming basically one armed,
One armed with his legs,
dodging arrows and shit the whole time. And all you hear in the background is the classic, "Oi, Thorfinn!
That was fun.
That was fun. Let's do that again."
I like it's
Crazy bastard, bro.
Yeah, and then you kind of after that it kind of starts going into the next part of the story with Prince Canute.
Yeah, that boy.
Where they rescue him.
That I whole ass thought. I don't know about you. I whole ass thought was a female for the.
I did for real. I thought it was gonna be like one of those secret ones. Well, what I thought was gonna happen was because they were talking about how the king didn't really like him.
Mm-hmm.
But what I thought the story was going to be was that he was a girl and his dad was like, "No, you're not a girl. Like you're a boy.
You're
I thought it was going to be one of those things. Is what I thought
exactly
when I first saw it.
I'm glad we're on eye on that because that had me sitting there. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Why do they keep calling her Prince Canute? Because I immediately was like, that's a her. That's a female. I'm not crazy.
That is a she.
That is a whole ass she. Yeah, but they clarified. No, that's a dude. He's still the prince.
Well, she's a guy, so
yeah. Well, she's a guy, so yeah. They clarified that he's the less favored prince from the king.
That character pissed me off so much. Like when they were in Wales and he wouldn't address the Welsh people that were trying to attack. I was like, dude, you're pissing me off because you're acting like a little bitch.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how have you? I just don't get it. Like I understand being scared and being shy and stuff, but holy shit! Like,
yeah, you're a whole ass diplomat. You are a royal subject. You are part of the royal court, and you're trying to talk to the freaking Welsh, and the Welsh are looking at him like, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy?"
Yeah, but I did like how when they went through Wales, they kind of showed a little bit more about Ascalon and his backstory.
Yeah,
as far as his mom being a slave and his dad being some badass that he ended up killing.
I love the progression there. I believe that's where you find out. You kind of put the two and two together as to why he's giving Thorfinn so much leeway.
Yeah.
And giving him so much rope, despite the fact that all he wants to do is kill him, and that he could kill him in his sleep, but he knows he's not going to. I think
yeah,
he
exactly.
Tried once
because he did it.
Yeah,
he
because he did. Yeah, he killed his dad in his sleep. So he's like, "You don't have that in you. I did though," and that story or that character building was really good in my opinion. Where you grow to understand how complex his mind is a little more. Besides just the tactician aspect of it, you see that he has the ability to care and be loyal to people. He has the ability, as far as with his mother, he has the ability to fight, which he had from a relatively young age because he went toe to toe with his dad from just watching people in shadow playing with swords, and then goes damn near toe to toe with his dad in the square whenever he knocked his mom down.
Well, and then we get to the not so nice part when you start not liking him again. When they like just murk that whole village back in England. I was like, that's some I get it, but that's like you're stealing all their food, so they're gonna starve anyways. But that's still some ho shit right
It
there.
was so calm, and then all of a sudden, murder. I was like, well, shit, bro. Like, I figured we were past this. No, okay, well, I guess not since it's Vikings. But shit,
Yeah, I mean, it keeps the fact that they are some pieces of shit alive.
it's like, just so you know, this hasn't changed. You might start to like some of these characters. This doesn't change
Yeah,
the fact that they are murdering and pillaging villages. They're murdering people and pillaging villages. So, there's that.
they're still just a bunch of assholes.
Like,
What a bunch of
shit.
a-holes.
What a bunch of a-holes. Solely because they want some grub and some houses and some new shit. That's it. Like,
Yeah, and then you get to where the Askeladd's men turn into a bunch of pussies and try to revolt because they're scared of
yeah,
Thorkel
after the initial encounter that his men, Ashkelad's men have
with the English.
And then they find out, I believe, that
Thorkel's
Thorkel's
coming.
following them.
Yeah.
And they're like, no. Let's just give up. Let's just give up.
Well, what made me happy was when Thorkel showed up to the village and the ones that stayed behind, and he just killed them all.
Oh, you told him straight up.
Like, y'all are weak.
Okay, so y'all are. He's like, why would I let you into my fray? Y'all have no loyalty, and you're clearly weak. Y'all don't have the skills to be a part of my fray. So therefore, men, have at it. Like,
bye, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I honestly was thinking that they might end up killing off Askeladd when his men revolted.
I thought so.
I thought that was going to be coming up there, but then
they were trying to. So that whole sequence of events was the men revolted because they're bitches. They're bitch made.
Yeah.
And then Thorkels catches up with them. They they were in the process of destroying the bridge. He said, "Screw it," and just ran over it like it was nothing. Eventually catches up to them, but before he catches up to them, takes out the men that stayed back to try and get in the good graces of Thorkel, which they get away with Canute, Bjorn, Ashkelad, and Thorfinn, and some of his men that were left over, right?
Yeah, Askeladd sends Bjorn and Thorfinn on a wagon with the prince to get away from the revolting men, but then he sends like 10 of them go after him.
Yeah.
And that's when the princess grows some balls and actually starts talking and yelling.
That's enough. Yeah.
Yeah, like, that was interesting as far as like his whole character and how it developed. Like, that was just like a snapshot development there. Mm-hmm. Like, he talked a little bit to Thorfinn, but then all of a sudden he got some motivation that'll really kick you into gear sometimes.
Oh yeah, when you find out,
sick of that shit.
I think they broke the news that he was trying to kill Canute, and he realized
he was talking to the priest or something about love, and
and then he realized
he was upset because the world's filled with no love, and how could God make all these people, like, how could God make the world and then make people be this horrible, shit like that, and that kind of threw him over the edge.
As he was watching Bjorn go
berserk everyone,
go full on berserker mode and get stabbed and shit and be fine. He was watching this happen as the priest is informing him. Yeah, well, there's no love in this world. There's only love for materialistic things, like my wine. Glug glug glug.
Oh, shit.
And once he realized that, he decided for whatever reason at that point that was going to be his catalyst to then spread love by way of his rule.
Yeah, something like that. I didn't fully understand what the hell he was talking about.
That's the gist of what he was saying, is that, well, since there's no love in this world, I'll bring love to this world with an iron fist, pretty much. Regardless which
doesn't make sense, but
it doesn't. It's like, I'm going to force people to
We'll see how that plays out for you, bud.
Yeah. Or force people to chase the thing that they love. What I'm going to chase for me is to see other people love the things, chase the things that they love. That's how I would want to rule as a ruler or whatever, as a king. And I'm like, okay, I guess.
Right, I mean, I still don't like you, but
I don't really like you as a character, but sure, that's some growth. I'll take it. All right. Then Berserker Boy, Bjorn, gets done murdering and runs out of his berserk. My powers are dwindling, and the pain kind
The
of takes.
shrooms wore off. Like, no, them shrooms are weak.
Where you get these from, bro? Like, yeah, he finally the effects of the shroom wears off, and then he finally realizes, "Ow, all these things hurt. I have a piece of a cart stuck in my ribs."
Stabbed again.
He gets stabbed again. God bless, man. That dude took an ass whooping. And I was pissed because he beat all those people, and then he gets stabbed by like one of the weakest motherfuckers out of the group.
One of those bitch brothers.
Yeah. That's after it was
alive.
The greatest part is still between those two brothers that were sitting there like planning the revolt and like spreading the seed of revolt and doubt.
Yeah.
In Ashkelon. The blonde one, the bigger dude.
Yeah.
When he goes to go up against Thorkel, and he literally died.
He turned into like a bitch. He died inside and was just like a mummy after that. He's just like
he turned into a shell of a human being. He goes, "Is he? I don't know if he's dead or not, but I don't know. I guess I killed his will."
Killed something.
That man dropped to his knees and just catatonic, just done. Oh,
and then our boy hilarious. Thorfinn coming in to duel Thorkel again.
Yeah,
because he didn't want him to kill Askeladd.
Yeah, because Askeladd at that point had like arrows in his knees and shit, or his thigh and shit.
But he got screwed up.
He was hurting. But yeah, that fight was interesting. I like that Thorkel was like, "No, this kid, no," because I think they initially wanted to go after him, and so he had to yell at them to stand down.
Yeah, well,
that way he could fight him.
Yeah, he wanted to duel him individually.
Yeah.
And then, that was a good development, kind of, because Thorfinn at least listened to Askeladd finally, took some advice for fighting Thorkel.
Yeah.
And that's how he ended up taking him down and ripping one of his eyes out.
Yeah.
After he ripped his eyes out, that's when Thorkel's men came in and pinned Thorfinn down, and then Thorkel's like pissed off at him and almost killed his right-hand man.
That was a scary
Asgard,
shit.
Or whatever his name was.
Yeah, that was some scary shit, because he went from like, you got me, basically. Like, he got knocked out briefly.
Yeah.
And then they tried to step in because he got knocked out.
Which is what I like about him.
He goes, "That's enough!" And just turns and just stops everybody in their tracks. Like, I'm talking ice blood. They're like, "Oh, shit."
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what I like about Thorkel, is because he does have that honor, and honor, I guess, is the best word to use.
That'd be there. He's got a lot of the old ways. He likes the old ways of, we're not doing this cheating shit. It's 1-on-1. We agreed to 1-on-1, and if you step in, you just cost me this battle.
Yes, exactly.
Because you
just embarrassed me.
You embarrassed me as your fucking commander because you decided to step in as if I'm too weak to handle this scenario. This is a fight to the death for a reason, and now we can't even do that. You fucked it all up.
You done messed up.
And you did all of that with the freaking stare. That was that was good.
Well, yeah,
and then he decided, I guess I'll just join you guys. Like,
and then you get Canute again coming back and, I guess, getting Thorkel to follow him because he's showing that he's strong, and
because he went
pulling that Kobe no flinch.
Yeah, he wants to punch him and just sat there, fist right in the face. He's like, "Are you done?
Try me, bitch."
Yeah, my man sat there. They're all like, "Oh no, he's gonna kill Canute." Canute didn't budge. Yeah, I was like, okay, so he's got some fortitude going on here. Cool, that's nice. It's good to see.
The last part of the season was a little like, I wasn't as interested in the political game they played at the end with like Canute and the king. Like, it was okay to me, but it was a major like switch up from what the show was to like all of a sudden it's this political duel between the king and his son, which was fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It was just a major switch up for me from what we were watching before, of just a bunch of conquering and mass whooping ass.
Well, it was a good turn of events if you think about it, because
they definitely slowed the season down there.
Yeah, they slowed it down from just the action, battle. They changed that to more of a hey, here's what's been happening in the background. Don't forget about the storyline with Floki
Yeah.
utilizing Ashkelad to kill Tors by way of, or by rule of the Jans Vikings. Now we have how that's tying into Ashkelad turning on the Jans Vikings, the Jans Vikings meeting up with them. I believe, what town was that they ended up meeting the king in? I can't remember.
Oh shit, no, because I was wrong. It was York. They didn't go back to York. I was wrong. It was London where
Yeah,
Thorfinn first fought
Thorkel.
Thorkel.
Yeah, on the bridge.
I said York earlier. I was wrong. And then York was where all the political shit was
Yeah,
happening.
York was the
That's
the
where
big
they like
political
fake
swap.
assassinated the prince, and they had that female double,
Yeah,
and everyone freaked out because they took her shirt
yeah,
off.
took off her armor, and it's like, oh my god, she was a female this whole time. Yeah,
It didn't
that's
trick me. I noticed the outfit. I was like, that's not what he was wearing. I was like,
lies.
yeah, it was funny. Nah, it didn't trick me at all.
It got me. Shit, I'll admit it. That got me. I
No,
was like,
because in the double had the helmet on, but the real prince was wearing like a bandana and shit. And I remembered that from when they were riding on the boat. I was like, nah, that's not him.
I mean, I did binge the whole series months ago in like one shot. So, and it was
Well, I
like
took a
3
few
a.m. by
days
the time I
to
got to that
watch through it.
episode.
Yeah. But it was funny how everyone was freaking out about it.
You're like, oh no.
And then Thorfinn runs into
Leaf.
our boy Leaf.
Yeah. Poor Leaf,
Which,
man. Like, he's like,
yeah,
oh
I
my
feel
god,
bad for
because
him.
he's genuinely been looking for this kid for forever.
For this stubborn ass,
Yeah.
dumbass kid.
Yeah, once he realized
wasting his life away.
Yeah, he sat there, wasted all this time, wasted Leaf's life too, because on every expedition he would ask at the port, "Hey, have you seen this kid?"
Yeah,
and no after no, and then he finally got onto his trail and ended up finding him on a fluke in York. So,
and then he finally got him to get on the boat after Thorfinn got put in jail for fighting those people, and then dipshit leaves again.
Yeah,
like I was kind of pissed off at Thorfinn at the end of the season because I was like, dude, this guy is trying to help you. Like, I understand you have all this hate and stuff, but holy shit,
like he finally listened to reason briefly,
and then saw
was like, you know what?
Nah, fuck that.
That irritated the shit out of me. And then he did all this work. He's spent all this time looking for you, and you're sitting here treating him like shit. That doesn't make any sense. You know, it's one of your dad's best friends.
Like, you knew him as a kid.
Yeah, you know, as
you son of a bitch. Yeah, Thorfinn's character kind of pissed me off a lot throughout the series because I was like, dude, you're so damn stubborn, and you don't even realize that you're hurting yourself half the time.
As an MC, he pisses me off, but I like the route they took with him. Because he's not a generic MC. He fights with himself on where he's at constantly. You know, he fights with himself about he understands that, yeah, my entire life has been wasted thus far for vengeance. And I still haven't been able to achieve vengeance. And should I just say fuck it and give up? Or continue breaking myself down trying to fight this dude and kill him?
Which he always goes with breaking himself down.
Exactly. He always chooses that option. So that's where I kind of got to the point of where you were, where it's like, come on, man. Whenever he finally started leaving with Leaf, and then decided against it because he was so wrapped up in
killing him.
Yeah, killing Ashkelad. So,
which then after all that slowing down for several episodes, they picked it all back up in like the last 2 episodes where Ashkelad just decapitates the king. I was like, oh shit. I didn't think he was going to do it. I thought it was going to be more of a continuation of the political game, but then he just chops his head off. But that's where they really kind of show Askeladd's heart, as far as, because he did it to one, he made the decision to kill the king to save Canute and give him the opportunity to be the hero, but then also save his homeland of Wales.
Yeah, it was too.
So his whole heart at the end of it was saving his homeland.
That was the holy shit moment in the show. As far as decision making and it being from the heart, not from a tactician standpoint, it was a from the heart decision.
Not for money or plunder.
Yeah, not for money or plunder, for solely from the heart of, I'm going to help this kid that's grown finally become the king that the Danes deserve, and I'm also going to ensure that the Welsh are not enslaved and don't have their lands destroyed by the Danes, especially by this king. The
Yeah, which
storyline of why he was so heartfelt protective of the Welsh. So we didn't. It's brief, but it's worth going over. The fact that his mother was born there. His mother was
yes,
Welsh, and she was treated like shit as a stable.
he ended up as a slave
Yeah, she was a slave to his father,
who
who was
who was
Danish.
Danish. Yeah.
hmm So because he was a Danish Viking, he hated the Danes, but he knew their strength and knew that he would be able to, as long as he kept the Welsh part of him a secret, knew that he would be able to sit there and properly utilize their skills for his gains,
Yes.
which he did for years. And then he turned on them, and it's like, y'all are stupid. I hate all of you.
He kind of turned on him because I mean he was working for Canute, who was going to take over Dane, but I think he believed in him enough that he knew it would change how Denmark was run.
Yeah, he knew. He knew from. For me, it was whenever they reunited before um, Canute convinced Thorkel to join them
Yeah,
in overthrowing the king. Initially, they planned on doing it diplomatically.
because
Until,
Thorkel wanted to kill the king
yeah,
too.
Thorkel was like, "Fuck yeah, let's do this. Let's go kill him." But Ashkelon knew that it would make more sense to do it in a more political fashion. He didn't make the decision to say, "Screw everything. I'm just going to straight up decapitate this dude in front of everybody and all the nobles," until they had that conversation where the king specifically knew that he was going to do everything in his power to piss off Ashglad, and say something as stupid as, you know, I know why you protect the Welsh so much, or why you cherish the Welsh land so much, because that's where your mother's buried. And it's like, oh, you shouldn't have done that.
Now you fucked up.
Now you fucked up, Chief.
Well, yeah, and I liked that whole scene. I liked how it was funny because the king was like, "Oh, I'm winning this mind battle now. I've got to him," because
Yeah,
they were talking about how Askeladd turned white and stuff, and then it's like, can't play political games if you're dead.
facts. I'm gonna hit the thing, the thing.
Yeah. But also in that scene, it kind of showed how Thorkel, even though he loves just killing shit,
Mhm.
he also had the brains to understand the situation. Like he told Canute, he was like, "You're gonna have to kill him." I was like, "Don't mess up your opportunity to. This is your. He
Yeah,
gave you a
because he was
stage.
going to jump in. Yeah, he
Go."
was going to jump
Yeah.
in, and he goes, "Wait a minute,
Nah.
this is your opportunity.
I was like, "This is your
Don't fuck it
stage."
up."
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that was again, that was a character development I was not expecting, because of the fact that until that point they just showed him to be one that enjoys battle. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, like the dumb big brute, and then he breaks out some political tactician shit, going, "Hey, wait a second here.
You
Let's
need
think
to
through
deal
this.
with this shit.
Thorkill, do something." No.
Sorry, not today.
That was his face was so good. No. So
Well, and then you have a traditional Thorfinn coming in screaming his damn head off.
yeah.
Which I mean, they kind of set everything up for another season because Askeladd's like, Thorfinn, like, move on, like, get the
Yeah.
fuck over it. Like,
I was supposed to kill you.
like that's the I yeah, with overall with Thorfinn's character, that's the only thing I don't like is just how tunnel visioned he is on that one goal. Like I get having a goal and working towards it, but he just hurts himself so much because he's so mad.
For
Like he's
someone that
holding on to that anger for so long.
Yeah, for someone that was so invested in, especially based off of his father's teachings, so invested in going to
Yeah.
Vinland, you know, he was so invested in that mindset and wanted to join, you know, Leaf in his escapades around the world and stuff like that. Being a normal person, and the direct cause of his grief is him, and I guess he fights with himself on that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's such
he's so he exudes all of his emotion through his want and need to fight Ashkelon, and then he has the audacity to say, "I was supposed to kill you," whenever he sees
Someone
Canute
else
kill
does it.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody else kills him by way
He
of
slashes at
circumstance.
Canute, and I'm like, you idiot.
Yeah, I'm like, that is the worst idea possible. Now you're fucked
Which we
because
don't even know what really happens to him next.
no, we have no idea because at that
Because
point it just
that's where it
ends.
cuts. And it's
Yeah,
like, well, shit, now what?
it cuts to like him dreaming of Vinland.
I mean, yeah, the ending, they did a good job definitely of making you want more because at the
Mm-hmm.
ending, I was like, this is bullshit. I was
Yeah,
like, it's the traditional tactic for the writers and
yeah.
filmmakers. Like, you
Leave
leave
the end
a hook,
ambiguous.
a
Yeah,
hanging, leave hanging fruit for
like
me to be like, I
there's a,
want some.
it was a good cliffhanger slash ambiguous
Yeah,
ending.
cliffhanger is the word I
So,
was looking for.
uh, but yeah, the overall overarching feeling that I got from the show was that it was pretty well told. Uh, we went over the things that I have an issue with as far as
I mean, you can still
the
summarize it.
storytelling. Yeah, but I mean, I'll summarize it in summary, in conclusion. Primarily, how quickly they didn't explore the possibility of a cat and mouse between Thor's and Ashkelon. Also, the some of the lesser storylines, i.e., the king. The king was put forth as like this very cut dry. He's a shitty king who somehow just is knowledgeable of things going on around him without any reports. He just automatically knows how Ashkelon's thinking, how Thorkel is thinking, how Canute is thinking, how all these people are thinking. And it doesn't make any sense to me at that point. Um, how the Yums Vikings, you don't really get a good deep dive into them. I mean, you have like a couple of flashbacks with Thor's as far as whenever he went to the camp to say goodbye to his brother, Thorkel, to say goodbye to him and say, hey, I'm not doing this shit anymore. And I think that was after a couple of years because he had already met his wife, what's her name, Helga?
Mm-hmm.
He had met Helga and they had already had Ilva, his daughter. So when they went back to the Jans Viking camp, the main camp, he straight up said, "Hey, by the way, it's not happening." And he goes, "Okay, well, you're gonna have to fight me to leave. You know the rules." And he goes, "Dude, it's fucking nighttime. Dude, we gotta do this right now."
Are you serious, bro?
But I mean, they have that battle, but it ends in one foul swoop where he knocks him out.
Knocking him out.
Yeah, he by hand he knocks him out. He's like, "I'm not lifting another blade." So I mean, that I wanted to see a little more of that. You know, what repercussions came from that. You know, did Thorkel face any repercussions and having been knocked out and having seen this person that they've been looking for, especially since that was his family? Did Floki feel betrayed, really, because of the fact that they had fought for so long together? Did he feel like, oh, well, you feel like these people are more important than me, and you know, we were supposed to have this bond as warriors and in kind and things of that nature. So there are a couple of things I wish the story would have perused a little more, but I get it. I guess it got saved for later seasons. Maybe there are flashbacks. Maybe there are stories that were told to Helga that Thorfinn, once he gets back to his village, if it's still there by the time he gets back, that his mother may express to him, or that Leif might express to him. Leif, I don't really know how you're supposed to say that, but they're story wise, as far as how they presented it, if I'm not being nitpicky, it was good. It was a good story. Um, they delved into the characters. There was a lot of character development across multiple characters. It wasn't just following solely Thorfinn. A lot of the supporting characters had a lot of character development as well, which is always a good thing for me because that engages me more than just focusing solely on one character. It's irritating when that shit happens.
So, what would be your overall rating?
I would say I'd give this 3.5.
Okay.
It's got so much potential. I don't want to hype it up as far as, oh, this is top tier A1, shit. The animation's glorious. I love the animation style. It's very smooth. I love the fights, the action, the balance between action and storytelling as well. Flow of the story is pretty good. But overall, I guess you could say that the need for a little more detail with certain events and certain characters would be nice. So Maybe that'll happen in season 2. Who knows? Hopefully so. Which again, I believe it's supposed to come out in the fall anime season. So
Let's
of
hope
this
so.
year.
I mean, yeah, I kind of have pretty similar thoughts as you on the overall part of the show. Like, I think there were certain story parts I wish would have had more detail. Like you said, the Yams Vikings and kind of who they are and what they did, and like Thor's story and maybe a little more about him and his past. And I would probably give it a 3.5 out of 5 too. The only reason I give it or above average is because the animation, like you said, I love the animation. Like
Mm-hmm.
it does a good job like showing the characters' emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Like shit, you can tell when Thorfinn's pissed
Yes.
because you can see
It
it in his
details really
face.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, they do a really good job with making him look like you can tell he's not just this happy-go-lucky guy. He's ready to, and you can tell he's battle worn and
Yeah.
angry, and you can see just how he feels just by his face. So I give it above that because the animation was good. And then I also give it a little bit above average because like you said, I think there is major potential in the story. I think if they dive deeper into some of the other subjects of the anime, I also like how, like you said, they do switch between characters as far as not just focusing all on Thorfinn. There's a lot of other people in the world that are important to it, and you get to see their stories, kind of like the Canute arc and all of his shit and
Yeah.
Askeladd stuff. There, I definitely was left wanting with a little.
Yes.
I want more. I want more from it, and I don't think it delivered as much as I could have hoped for.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's a lot of potential in the story for it to be really good.
Yeah.
But which is kind of funny to say, being that I don't really like the main character. As controversial that may be, I really don't like Thorfinn a
I
lot.
I think
But I
that
like everything else around him. I like the story, all the other people's stories enough
yeah.
to where it makes up for the fact that I don't really like him.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a scenario to where we have some growth in him as he gets older.
I
Because
hope
I don't
so.
even believe he's an adult yet.
No, he's in his teens, I
Yeah,
think.
I think he's like 15 or 16 or something like that
Something around
by the
there.
end of the season. So he's not even an adult yet. So I feel that hopefully he grows in his ambition and shows his actual potential. That he
Now that
learns some of
Askeladd's
the
dead.
that he has some of the he may have that drifting period. It might be like a 5 years later or something like that, to where he's had that drifting period to kind of get over the fact that he wasn't the one to avenge his father. Now, will he take it to a grander scale and do some like Eren Yeager type shit and fucking take on the whole the entirety of the nation of Denmark? Who knows? I
We'll
don't.
see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, I'm
But
wondering if he'll find out if Loki is the one who paid to have his father killed. I'm wondering if they'll throw that
yeah,
into the
because they
next
never
season.
really explored that.
He'll just
Askeladd
start
never
chasing
told him.
Loki around.
That would be interesting if he ended up taking out the Yams Vikings.
Yeah,
That would be an interesting story point or a plot point that I'd love watching that, even if it was like a small like side story. If he like, oh yeah,
he's
he
got a
was so
long way
good
to grow before that.
oh yeah, before he can infiltrate and destroy the Nah, we'll see. But
Yeah,
yeah, that would be fun. Like you said, it's got plenty of potential. That's what I felt whenever I had initially watched. That's why I wanted you to watch it. I wanted you to go in blind, just because I went in blind. I had no idea. I just saw like one fight scene, and I was like, that looks like it would be good. And then I looked it up, and I happened to find it on Prime. So, but we'll see. Hopefully, they can deliver something just as good, if not, hopefully a little bit better.
Hopefully better.
As far as the storytelling is concerned.
Yep.
But yeah, other than that, that is gonna do it for us.
We'll close out our 4th episode of our anime podcast.
We're officially at a month, guys. Oh my god.
Thanks for joining. If you're on the YouTube, then like and subscribe. Our social media links will be up on the video for pretty much the whole video. If you're on our one of our podcast platforms, consider giving us a favorite and follows depending on the platform you're on. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Indeed. It'll be a surprise. We're not gonna give you any hints as far as
We'll
what the next
announce
one's
it
gonna
on,
be.
like I do always, just a few days before on social media.
Yep. Check our socials. Check our links. You put them in the bio now, right?
Yeah, they should be somewhere
All
in
right.
the videos, description, and all that crap.
Cool. Yep. Check our socials, and we will provide you guys with our announcement on the next episode. Other than that, y'all have a good one, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.